Yay! What in the name of...
Oh, you know what? What's important is that it's happening. What's important is that
I
it's happening, and I can see you. It's good to see you.
know. About what? How many? 20 times later we get to do it. How are you
Take
keeping?
four. Take four. Very good. Very good. So we should be doing this over on Coaching the Man, but welcome to Live at 5 or 8 minutes past 5. I can see you're outside enjoying the sunshine.
It's great. I'm absolutely destroyed today, so I have to wear a shirt. I'm a gobshite.
Have you been a little bit of a victim to not wearing sunscreen, or are you just not a tan
Do you know what?
type person?
I bought this 30 bloody quid for it, and everyone said you can only buy it for like €3 or €4. So I've been using it. You know, I may as well have been using bloody water at this stage. So.
Cooking oil. So I just wanted to kind of check in, because Live at 5 is generally just a little interlude in the day of Saturday, and just kind of let's check in and kind of talk to people about how they're feeling. It's like the end of a week, the week is beginning, and throughout the whole of lockdown, it's become kind of apparent that we just don't know what day it is. So I started this as like just an, I don't know, a distraction from maybe the endless scrolling or all of the things that you feel like you should be doing and the productivity. I wonder, have you had that feeling of needing to be uber productive throughout the whole of lockdown, and how has that affected you?
Yeah, well, you know, we've been quite lucky because like we're the only radio station, I think, in Ireland that's fully from our houses.
Yeah.
So F104 it's like we're in South Dublin, North Dublin, in the city centre. And compared to other radio stations that are still going into their studios, we're not doing that. We're actually doing it from our own houses. So it kind of, it's amazing how it's done, but it's kind of meant that we're actually even busier because we're not beside each other, and we're doing shows where there's usually 4 people in a studio, and now I'm in my kitchen, one of the lads is in his attic, the other lad's in his bedroom, the other fella is in his office. So we've been probably more busier than I've ever been before, you know, trying to get guests. There's more guests around because, you know, they're not doing much, so they want to have a chat or play a song or promote some charity or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm kind of like lucky. I think the only times that I'm actually bored is in the evening times when there's nothing to do. And I usually open up a glass of wine, which is probably the worst thing that I do.
Well, you definitely are. You do love a drink, and you're very honest about that on your social media.
Yeah, there's been a few times now, a few people have said something to me, like being fucking idiots about it, going, "Oh, you're drinking too much," and I'm like, "I work hard, so I'd like a drink."
Yeah.
But like, I don't drink 2 or 3 bottles of wine, probably 2 glasses of wine. I think I give off the opinion that it's more, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that you say that people have been more vocal about feeling like they need to tell you when you start saying openly on your social media what it is you do in your own time, and how people feel so free to kind of ask you about your habits and drinking. How does that feel?
Look, it's grand. I think. Look, it's funny sometimes. Like, I think people. I always talk about my weight, and I'm always laughing about it. But I kind of find people then feel like it's okay to say stuff about it, you know, and that's funny. Like, I remember I was at Taste of Dublin last year, and these 2 ladies came up to me in front of everyone. "You're not as fat as you say you are." I was like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I was like, "I don't know who you are." Yes, but look, that's fine. Look, I don't mind that as long as they're not being mean. I don't really care.
No,
like
absolutely.
I think online people feel like they can say whatever they want and get away with it. Like, if you're gonna bark at me, I'll fucking bark back at you. So yeah, I just saw Gavin James today got absolutely destroyed over something, and I stuck up for him on Twitter because he's a good friend of mine, and I hate seeing people, you know, if you're doing something good in life, and then people just like Twitter is basically for people who want to moan and give out, and you know.
I find it's interesting to try and balance all 3 social media platforms. I mean, Facebook and Instagram are almost one of the same, but then Twitter is a completely different beast. But you manage to stay relevant across all 3. And do you kind of enjoy the difference between them?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like, I like Instagram because you can kind of have a bit of crack on it. Twitter, again, just to see what's going on. I don't really go on to Facebook that much anymore. I think I use Facebook because my mom's on it, just to see that I'm alive and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's mostly Instagram and Twitter these days.
Yeah,
keeping
Facebook,
me
I
occupied.
think, is kind of almost like a mirror image of what it is you're doing on your Twitter or on your Instagram.
It is. It is.
I want to ask you about the because you said like you're quite open about speaking about body image, and you defended Gavin James. Or the other week, I think it was last week, you put that picture up of you having a dip in the sea, and you said you weren't going to put it up. Do you feel like do you feel like there is a pressure to hold back from uploading things like that, like
Oh,
from a male point of view, or?
yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, lads are so conscious about their bodies as well as girls, and I think people need to realize that. And especially in the gay world, it's worse again. Like, you've just these lads running around with their fucking six packs, and they're, you know, in fly fit
Yeah,
or in whatever they're in, jumping around the place. And I'm kind of like, that's not real life, you know. And you have to sometimes separate real life from the actual life, if that makes sense.
yeah,
That, you know, everyone's different, and oh look, I battle with it every day of the week, but like I laugh at that. I do it in a funny way. Like
yeah,
I hope I do it in a funny way or in a formative way or whatever it is. But yeah, look, everyone I think everyone has something. You could have a six pack and be giving out about your ears, so you could have lovely ears and be giving out about your feet.
yeah, yeah. No,
But yeah,
absolutely. And I think, like, you know, the bravery to be able to just kind of put something like that up, knowing that there will potentially have some sort of impact, and it's not always easy to show the real you, regardless of whether, you know, it's about you, you know, showing just before you get into the water or out of the water, but it's difficult. And I think, you know, even more so now than ever, especially in the community of LGBT and gay men, there is a pressure.
yeah, there is. There absolutely is. And you know, I work out every day. I eat a lot, I drink a lot, I have fun, but it is that thing where you'd like to fit into a shirt and not have to put a t-shirt underneath it because it won't bloody fit as I'm
Right.
doing right now. And they are the massive problems I think people have, you know, about themselves and all that. But you kind of have to kind of get to love yourself and get to, you know, be normal about just look, this is who I am. Like I'm never gonna
Yeah.
have a six pack. Do I want a six pack? I don't think I do. It looks like a lot of work. But as long as you're healthy, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can imagine a six pack, and some of the pictures that you see on Instagram, you're like, that feels like far too much effort, to be honest. It really does.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
last Friday, a week ago yesterday, you guys did Mind Your Noggin on FM 104. Tell me what that was like.
Yeah, so that came about, right? We were just looking at all the radio stations and media companies all over Ireland doing loads of really good work for charities. And look, it's something we've never really done before. You know, well, we do a massive gig every year for the ISPCC, but we've never
Yeah,
actually done just a day of raising funds. And we had a chat about it, and we are like, look, mental health, I think, in Ireland is getting an absolute battering, and it's probably
yeah,
going to go more so when this coronavirus is all over. I think it's going to fuck with people more in the long run.
yeah.
So we got chatting to the guys at Jigsaw. Well, first of all, we got chatting to these guys called Tribe. They're called Tribe on Instagram. So basically, these young lads and girls, they were in school, realized they didn't feel well, you know, and they came together as a tribe, and they're now in college raising funds for Jigsaw. So we decided, look, let's go to Jigsaw. We'll team up with you guys, and we'll try and raise some money. They had a
Mm,
400% rise in calls for kids between the age of 14 to adults to the age of 25 on
it's
the first
amazing.
week of March.
Yeah,
400% in calls. So yeah, we just decided we'd raise funds, make awareness of it. You know, we didn't want it to be a grim day. We didn't want it to be, you know, people being sad or to tell like telling really like bad stories. We wanted it to be a positive day. You know,
yeah.
like a positive outlook to like show that there is some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's a glimmer of hope. And so that's what we did. Yeah, we did. It was from 6 a.m. till midnight.
Yeah.
It was
No,
good.
it looked like a really great day, and it's so nice and refreshing to see it included in entertainment, because actually, like you just said, you know, talking about mental health and mental health awareness, it doesn't mean that we all have to talk about the doldrums and the horrible side of it. We can, and as a nation, Irish people love to put a little bit of a light sprinkling on things, and it's
And
so nice.
that's
It
it.
doesn't, you know, just to talk about things in a light-hearted way is always just really, really nice, because it highlights it, and then if you want to go deeper, you can go deeper. But talking about it openly and raising awareness, and as a mental health advocate, that's always what I try and do, is just kind of just ask those questions in a light-hearted environment and see if anybody wants to talk about it. And that's all you can
Yeah.
do.
And that's all you can do. Just normalize it and make it feel like I've been lucky enough that I've been fairly good. Like there's like, you know, you get shit days, whatever, but I've never really had anything that thankfully But like I've had friends that have gone through horrific situations, and just to think that there's someone like Jigsaw out there that can
Mm.
talk to people, and like even like if there are kids, like if you think of a 5-year-old kid at the minute, or a 6-year-old or 7-year-old kid that's been taken away from school, hasn't seen their friends, they're stuck in the house every day of the week, and of course that's going to screw with them. So the
Yeah,
likes of Jigsaw is there for mums and dads as well. So it's not just
yeah,
for teenagers and young adults; it's there for mums and dads who have kids. So stuff like that,
yeah,
it's great stuff like they're out there, and we can raise funds for it.
absolutely. And what do you think of the whole? Well, you've been quite vocal about it. You've watched it twice, but Normal People,
It's amazing. I'm on my third round now of
isn't it
it.
so good?
Oh, God of Almighty, there's just something amazing about it. But I'll give you one extra. So if you're finished Normal People, and
Oh, you
well,
were talking about
over,
this yesterday.
it's fantastic. It's a brand new Irish movie. It's on Amazon Prime, 4th of June.
Yeah,
Stars Jamie from Normal People, and he is incredible in it. Like, he's amazing. You're gonna love him by the end of it.
right.
So he's playing this young fella in school, and a girl called, I think her name Lola Pillywalk Lola. Which anyway, her surname is amazing. It's her first name's Lola. Anyway, they are two kids in school. He gets called faggot every day of the week. She gets called a dyke every day of the week, and it's awful. And they just realize to each other, they're like, if we start going out with each other, people will think we're straight. And at that stage,
Right.
like, the guy is like, I am straight. I am straight. There's nothing wrong with me. But she's like, well, I'm a lesbian, and you can be my beard. So to them, it's based in the 90s. It is an amazing, amazing movie. It's about an hour and a half long. The guy's name is John Frayne, I think, is something director, Irish director, lives in London. It's on Amazon Prime, so it's going to be massive, and it is very Normal People esque. So it's like
Right.
Normal People, the in-betweeners, Derry Girls, and Handsome Devil mixed into one. It is fantastic. And the ending of it, I literally nearly threw my laptop out the window at the end of it.
Oh, really?
It's so good, but it's brilliant. So if you are watching Normal People and you like that buzz, yeah, it's called Dating Amber.
Fan. I'll write it down.
Very.
You know what I do love about it? I love the intimacy of it, and I love, like, a lot of people don't grab onto the slowness because they're so used to, like, episode after episode, it's so quick. But I adore the intimacy of it, and that moment where he was in. I don't know if you've not seen it, watch it. But the moment where he was talking to the counselor, that woman, oh, wow. I was like,
Yeah.
somebody who's just like, is in that world. I was just like, yes, for you just even being there.
It normalizes it, doesn't it? It really does
Yeah,
normalize that whole buzz of like what I'd say that so many people are terrified to go into a room like that, and just to see how normal that room is and how
yeah,
nice that lady was,
yeah,
kind of normalizes all that sort of stuff. Which again, like Normal People normalizing it, it does.
yeah.
It really,
No, it's true. They've done it in so many different ways. So yeah, no, I really just wanted to touch on that. But also, over the pandemic, you have been quite openly talking about dating in isolation.
I know.
How has it been?
Do you know what? I kind of calmed down the past 2 weeks because I've been really busy. But so yeah, I decided at the very start of this that you're not going to be able to go on dates. I broke up with somebody, and then I was kind of with somebody, and then I broke up, and then whatever. And I was like, oh, I need to get my head back in the game.
Right.
So downloaded Tinder, downloaded Grinder, started doing the Zoom dates, started chatting to people, chatting to someone in London. I was chatting to 3 people in Dublin, and it was just a crack.
Yeah.
You were just sitting. Like, I know you're in your house is your fortress. It's your safe place. So you're bringing
Yeah.
someone into your safe place virtually. And yeah, some of the dates have been good. I've been chatting to someone still for ages. And you know what? When this is all over, I get to meet them. But you've kind of jumped over all those fences that you'd be afraid you'd have, or you'd like. I find some people online aren't what they look like. So
Okay.
you're actually when you do a Zoom call, or like you're doing an Instagram story or whatever it is, you actually get to see what they look like.
Yeah.
So properly. So like I'm destroyed, as you can see. I'm like whatever. So to me, this is who I am now. So you can't hide that on a Zoom call or whatever. So no, it's been good.
I guess for you, because you're so public almost with like Instagram stories and like people can quite easily find the raw version of you. But
yes, sadly.
you don't necessarily always figure out how to see that version of somebody else unless they do something similar to you.
Yeah, and like I know some people probably are freaked out by it. They're like, "Oh, we want to do a Zoom call. You want it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And Like you'd go to the pub with somebody. Why wouldn't you do a Zoom call? If you want to
Yeah.
get dressed up. So yeah, oh, it's been
And
good. It's
also,
been
our
different.
first date is recorded on Zoom.
Yes, I never thought of it like that. Jesus Christ, actually.
You mean
Yeah,
you
some of
haven't
them.
been recording them for later dates?
No, I don't think so. No, unless they do it automatically. Obviously, I'm very bad at technology. Like, I'm really, really bad when
This
it comes to
really
stuff.
surprises me because you've been
Yeah,
like, you know, being part of a radio station from your house, and yet you're still a
yeah, no.
technology
Like, I
folk.
got these yesterday. I got these little headphone thingies, and I keep on saying to my housemate, "Oh my God, I can't hear you when I stick them on." And he's like, "Of course you can't, because they're, they're soundproof thingy."
Oh,
But
noise cancelling. Yeah.
yeah, sorry
I'm
again.
so proud of you, Crosse. I'm so